Rose-colored glasses, take one.
Hi, I'm Dana.
And I'm Angel.
And you're watching Rose-Colored Glasses with Lord Lady Logan.
In a world where people are quick to talk about the things they dislike, we want to keep it positive. So we'll be individually and collectively telling you about all the things we do like.
We hope you enjoy the show.
And if you do, please hit the subscribe button, tell your friends, and come back again. Hi everyone, I'm Angel Logan, and thank you for joining me today on Rose-Colored Glasses with Lord and Lady Logan. Have you ever heard of bold school learning? It's a blend of the old school teaching methods of yesterday and the technological advancements of tomorrow that are utilized in some schools in the U.S. It takes the best of tradition and modern technology to create a more well-rounded education, and this is to make sure the kids of today are benefiting from all that innovation has to offer while preserving the integrity and value of our most time-honored principles and practices. Well, I think this overall philosophy for teaching is amazing, and it's similar to what Dana and I have always applied to our way of living. We're both extremely independent individuals, and we prefer to be true to our own spirits without becoming clones of other people or following all of the trends that other people follow. We're not saying no to innovation at all. To the contrary, we're simply choosing to embrace the best of both worlds in a distinctive manner, and this allows us to enjoy our lives on our own terms. We feel that technology should be an enhancement to humanity, not a replacement for it, and we believe that the best parts of humanity still include a splash of old school. When you find yourself wondering if you're being true to your spirit or not, then maybe it's time to explore some of your decisions and ask yourself if you're making a decision because you've been told by others that it's the wave of the future, because you're following all of the popular trends, because your friends are all doing the same thing and you don't want to miss out, or because it's something that you really dig and it's your personal preference. If your answer is anything but your personal preference, then maybe you need to start thinking about what you want for yourself and what makes you happy. Then, try to focus your attention and energy upon doing things that you really enjoy. It's absolutely okay to stand out from the crowd and define yourself the way only you can. You should see the looks on faces when people find out that Dana and I still use a landline in our home. In fact, if you look into the mirror right now, I bet you'll have the same look on your face. Seriously though, Dana and I have always been quite strategic in our thinking, and we have several practical and particular reasons for having and using a landline as well as our cells. Yes, we both have smartphones, but we split up our usage so that we aren't using only one over the other for various professional and personal tasks. Our cells are primarily for business-related correspondence and texting when we're home, or voice communication for out-of-the-house usage. Also, as a professional writer, I prefer doing the majority of my writing work through my computer versus trying to do it all on my cell. It's more practical and it makes more sense for effective functionality. I've always known individuals who prefer to correspond with me via text on the cell or messenger on the PC regarding business-related subject matter. This is usually because they're people who are too busy with their work schedules for live conversations, or some are just all in with their technology. It just depends on who it is and what the nature of our business is. As most people know about me, I don't believe in an all or nothing mindset. And if I'm home, which is where I work from, then my voice calls will be on my landline, and the same goes for Dana. The other thing is we both shut off our cell phones at night and then turn them back on when our business days start. Wait, what? I know, but neither of us want to be glued to our cell phones during our off hours or time with each other, and we don't want our devices disrupting our sleep patterns. I don't want to be on 24-hour call or receiving notifications every time I get an email or something happens in social media. I enjoy social networking, but it can wait until I have a few minutes to log in from my PC. Plus, sometimes when I am logged in to correspond with people on Messenger, it's for professional reasons, and I need to save my socializing for later on when I'm on a break or done with my work for the day. All of my friends know that they won't have to wait days for me to respond to personal messages or posts, but at the same time, they also know that I might not respond instantly or within minutes. It could be a few hours, especially if I'm busy working, which obviously has to take precedence over idle chit-chat. However, anyone who would have an urgent reason for reaching either of us would know that we'll call back as soon as we're available. We aren't the types to have full-blown conversations out in public on our cell phones that should really remain private, and certainly not while driving for safety purposes. If Dana is out and I need to reach him, I will call or text his cell, and I know that he won't answer or even look at his phone until he pulls over out of traffic. Before the pandemic, he applied the same mindset to business calls on his cell, and he'll do the same once everything gets back to normal again. He will pull over first to look at his phone or respond. He'll never put his safety in jeopardy. Makes sense, right? After all, this is the law in our state, but mostly it's the safest thing to do. Another benefit to having a landline in addition to your cell is that you can talk on your landline for hours without calls dropping off on your end. And if the power goes out, the battery backup will keep your phone line active for at least 12 hours. Having a charged cell phone prior to an incoming storm or during a power outage is important, and having an additional 12 hours on the landline can be a lifesaver if the battery is low on your cell. I guess the other reason that we choose to handle our communication the way that we do is because when we see people in person, we want to be fully engaged in our conversations with those individuals. We don't want to be the kind of people who are too distracted to really listen to one another because they can barely look away from their cell phones. We want people to know that we value them and their time with us enough to focus our attention on them when in their presence. When we eat our meals or when we dined out pre-COVID, we've always wanted to be able to look at each other, converse, and enjoy our meals together. If we're going to share a meal at home or out when it's safe to, we aren't going to spend our time during our meal or spend our hard-earned money for that meal looking at our phones in silence rather than at each other, truly enjoying each other's company. Does that mean that we can't take a selfie of the two of us or the presentation of our delicious meals to post later when we get home? Of course not. This is part of the fun of social media. We just want balance between humanity and technology. And while we're enjoying all that technology has to offer, we're going to maintain an old school attitude when it comes to personally connecting with other people and each other. Technology isn't for everyone, and it shouldn't have to be. If your choices aren't self-destructive in nature and you aren't negatively impacting or causing harm to anyone else, then you should feel free to be bold and choose the technology that suits your lifestyle the most, whether it's a little, a lot, or none at all. You shouldn't have to feel left behind, antiquated, or shamed for wanting to maintain some old school communication. Your real friends and loved ones won't criticize. They'll support your technology choices because this is what people do when they care about you. When it comes to reading, nothing compares to the magic that I feel from the turning pages within a printed book. As I embark upon future book projects, I want my readers to feel that magic too. I love how it feels to be surrounded by shelves and shelves of books at the library. And this is the reason that one day I hope to create a small library in our home with all of our books to access and read at our leisure. Of course, some people have limited space for storing books. I get it because we don't have much physical room for our books within our current living space either. Not to mention, some people don't have a ton of time in their schedules to sit down with a good book. However, listening to an audiobook on the way to work every day or while cooking a meal is the ideal way to multitask. Ebooks are easily read on tablets and phones at the beach, sitting at your desk on a lunch break, or in your lodging during vacation. This makes it easier than trying to find room in your suitcase to squeeze in books. Because I spend so much time researching information for my writing work projects, I read countless articles, medical journals, company and biography profiles, legal precedents, product details, analytical data, and the list goes on. And this is mostly conducted over my computer. The important thing is not how you choose to read, but more that you have the ideal option to read, because there are several innovative and classic methods that will suit you the most. One of the coolest things that I really like about social media is how people wish each other well during special occasions, whether it's for a birthday, an anniversary, or some other special event or achievement. By the same token, when someone's going through a tough time, suffering through an illness or sadly a loss, everyone seems to rally and rise to the occasion to offer love, support, encouragement, hope, or prayers to those who need it the most. I'm more than happy to offer that online and to receive it during my times of need. But also, I know receiving a physical greeting card always touches my heart. Not everyone can afford postage or the cost of greeting cards these days, and I certainly understand that. However, Dana and I love sending our famous photo Christmas cards out in the mail every year. Everyone seems to appreciate it, and it makes us feel good to do that. In addition, for the people who are particularly close to us, we like to send greeting cards for special occasions, birthdays, anniversaries, Valentine's, and sadly even to offer condolences. We don't expect others to do the same for us, because it isn't about doing things out of obligation or expecting something in return. It's just about doing something for no other reason but out of kindness. Life is what you make it, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with being independent in your life choices, blending modern day life with a splash of old school, and tailoring the way you live to meet your specific needs, personal preferences, and individual style. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you'll visit again to take a look through our rose-colored glasses. Until next time.